For the startup here, we're going to pour the coals in, set the chimney over, let it do a bit of a burn off, then bring our already trussed up, already speared on the rotisserie frame, bring that out here, install it, and I am only going to start this when I think that heat is on the low end side of function, because I can always add heat. I can always add more oxygen. I can always add more coals, but it's difficult to go the other way around. So let's let these coals settle out, start to form our opinion on how this is going to work. So this came in as two separate kits from Roto-Q, with number one, it being stainless. I like the idea of the durability that comes with that. Number two, you're getting the main regular grill, which is a freestanding, would sit well in any pellet smoker or over top of a grill with the heat underneath it. And then we got this full freestanding outdoor kit, in which case you build, it has a tray that you build a fire on the bottom. We've upended this. Check this out. I just had another thought. I'm not exactly certain if, I'm pretty sure this goes on the bottom if you were building a fire. But look at this. We can create an entire oven. It's going to get hot really quick here, so I'm not going to let it sit there too long. Yeah. That is now an oven with a rotisserie on it on a Lodge Sportsman's Grill. Is this going to happen? This is the standard frame that comes with the rotisserie, but I thought I was going to have to use a grill grate over top of that, and determined that the feet on it fit perfectly to the exterior edges of the Lodge Sportsman's Grill. So I didn't even need that. It's straight and open directly to the coals and sits stable. There's an internal wire frame that takes this collapsible framework and makes it stable. I'll close off the air ventilation to the minimum so that I have the maximum stability that I can have and control to go up on the heat instead of having too much to start out with. I've got one thing in my mind. If this does get out of control, I'm going to have my hot gloves handy, and we can always bail from this, pull this away, and let it settle down and simmer down. So I'm not as concerned as I was about losing control on this, but let's go ahead and load up. It is hot, obviously, and being the first time I'm doing this, we're gonna be a little bit gingerly on this. I hope it goes smooth. Let's see. Already starting to get some sizzle, to be expected. Yep, definitely gloves are required on this. So the chicken is now in, settled in there. We have to do the wind up. Keep those gloves on. And this entire thing is designed to be hot. That's all stainless steel inside the power module there, where all the springs are and the winding happens. And all the reports are you get about an hour's worth of rotation out of this. And we'll talk more about the strengths of why a rotisserie is amazing for grilling. You know what? I'm going to try the crank instead of the dial. It just seems like it would be quite a bit easier to just use the crank. We'll find out. A little bit more violent. Got to hold a little bit harder. But it definitely winds much easier. On an excessive amount of heat there. So I'm going to add a little bit of oxygen before I start to add coals. We're going to go quarter vent open and see how that does. Forgot one other thing. While it's doing its spinning, you can never have too much spice. So we're going to dust this again for any of the spice that we may have lost. Yeah, I can definitely feel we're going to be able to add some more heat into this. You know what? I think we're going to come back and dust this again midway through. All right, going to go in, wash my hands, wash the gloves, then come back out and monitor, and we'll keep you up to date. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on though. At this point, maybe 5 minutes into it, the handles remain relatively cool. And I'm starting to hear that sizzle, starting to smell that chicken dripping down into the coals. Smells good. If only there was a thing such as smell-o-vision. Don't bother me, I'm cooking. Before we get too far into this, I'm also going to check the adding of coals. There's a door on the back side of this that you can lift up and out of the way. Again, it's hot. So I'm going to remove that door and just throw a few coals in. Number one, that's good smoke flavor that's going to drop in there. Then bring the coals. Be right back. Now I've got the coals. Going to add a few coals, maybe 4 or 5. I'm kind of liking the lack of oxygen right now, but those coals are running low. Just spread a few coals around, and that smoke flavor from this Kingsford is one of our favorites. You can't go wrong with Kingsford because just about everybody likes that flavor. And if you've got people that are, I don't like smoke flavor, or people that, that's too much, or that's not enough smoke flavor, Kingsford nails it for, especially for the people who don't like too much smoke flavor. So that's why we're using Kingsford in this. Still hot. All right, guys, I'm going to add another element to this. I was a little nervous about what the temperature was going to do in this because you can overheat your wireless thermometers. But Meat Stick sent us this bulletproof, and I'm getting more and more comfortable with this temperature. So we're going to put the Meat Stick in there and start to monitor the actual cooking temp in the meat, coupled with wind up rotisserie. We're putting all of the skills into this to try and make this cook go off without a hitch. We're about 40 minutes in and we're gonna have to do a wind up. Well, there it is. At this point, we're going to call that done. Pull it out, take it inside, and put it in a rest. Look good, juicy, juice dripping out of it. Oh, don't lose all that. Let's take it inside. Here we go. And I did cover it with foil during the rest, so it might have picked up a little bit of moisture into the skin. We will clear out a nice piece of the breast. Plenty of juice coming off there. go. This is the big tell. Oh, it's always great when it makes a mess. Ooh, hot, hot. Plenty juicy. Oh yeah, that nails it. Who knew? This is a crazy advantage with the Lodge Sportsman's Grill. You even get to have a smoke ring with cooking this over coals. That's another comment that guests end up making is, look at the smoke ring on this. They know that that means you cook this over wood smoke. You can now do rotisserie on it. It is a charcoal miser. Those 5 additional coals that I put in, maybe a quarter chimney, and in the experiment, just threw an additional 5 coals in to see what the spark up would do. There was never any risk of flare up. Quarter vent open, quarter chimney of charcoals, 5 more coals in, which by the way, I think that's going to improve the smoke flavor that you get in the chicken, because you get a batch of those coals, those 5 additional coals lighting up. I think that just became a part of the process. Give this a go. Roto-Q 360 on the Lodge Sportsman's Grill. Wow. So YouTube says that this video is perfect for your viewing habits. This is my latest upload, and over here is a playlist you might just enjoy. I hope you liked it. If you did, please click like, subscribe, share, and come on back for more.